Alright guys, coming at you live with another Final Fantasy VII video. Right here, right now, coming at you live. Um, this next part is a little bit particular because we are basically arriving in the Junon Harbor and we are basically being a Shinra soldier for the duration of the time. So we basically have to play the part and basically do the marches and everything that we have to do in order to convince them that we're part of the military, essentially. So we're basically going to do a march in this next part, and it's one of the ones that I'm really bad at because for some reason I'm just really bad at it. So I try to do the best I can with this next part. It doesn't have to be perfect necessarily, but the next one after this has to be done well in order to get something really special. So we're just gonna do the march on the parade. And of course, I did a decent job, sort of. I mean, the TV ratings are going up, but that's a good thing, I suppose. But there we go. I'm not really doing the march justice, but they're just gonna send me something and they're just gonna give me a 6 potions. They're just gonna give me potions. So that's better than the alternative because usually if you're doing a really bad job, they'll just send you a grenade or something in the particular game. So the fact that I got some potions out of it is a pretty good standing. Sure, I didn't win the ultimate prize to it, but I'm not perfect at this particular game, so we're not aiming for perfection here. So next up comes we're gonna be aiming at perfection in the next part of the game. But this is where we get more development of Sephiroth's um basically his whereabouts, the man in the black cape. We're always being described, and we're just chasing after him, and he's apparently going into the ship. And we're messing with the military too much, so they catch us on and they basically train us to do the next part. And this next part is important because if you don't do it right, you won't get the materia force stealer, which is a sword that Cloud gets to double materia, so we're gonna need that probably at this point in the game. I would have to say that this has to be done properly. The send off has to be done close to perfect. And I do make mistakes, so I know it's forgiving, but not that forgiving. So first off, we're gonna end up going inside in here, grabbing the E skill materia, and of course they're telling me I'm a know-it-all. I love Square in terms of the company that they just have funny quirks about their games. And that's the E skill right here. You got to collect this in order to keep progressing in the story, otherwise you will never see it again, or if you do, you won't see it as early. You'll probably have to sail back and it takes forever to come back. So, now we're moving, and this is the send-off that you have to do properly in order to get the Force Stealer. So, let's see if we can do it correctly. Alright, it's time, 10 hut, and we're just going to be ready to go. Right here. Of course, the president arrives, and it's extremely important, and you got to do it right. So we're just going to press the buttons here. There we are, X, square, and it's really fast. So you got to do it properly the first time, but it is really fast. I'm not perfect at it, but I do try. Alright, triangle, there we are. Left face, alright, circle, Doing good so far. At least it's a little bit forgiving. I didn't get it quite right, but I got it sort of right. And it's got to be above 100% in order for this to work. And I am getting a little slow here, and I'm trying to keep up. 110, 120, triangle. There we are. Going a little bit slow, and then I messed up the last part, but it's okay. We're above the percentage that we need to be in order to get the Force Stealer, I hope. Alright, so then President Shinra is happy with us, and he basically gives us something special for each character here. And he comes up to us. That's Heidegger. He gives us basically the token of appreciation, and that's the Force Stealer, so we got it. So now we board the ship, and we basically hunt down Sephiroth along the path, and basically that's how we start moving. And yeah, this is pretty much the next part of the game. Um, and of course, he's getting sick of the laugh because, he's just tired of listening to Heidegger's laugh because he wants to have a new reputation amongst the people. And we're just going to be moving in pretty soon. And now we're talking about Hojo's disappearance slash letter of resignation, forced to take care of the investigation, and so on and so forth. And so we're moving forward. We're just gonna sneak right on into the ship. And of course, going backwards is a little bit of a pain because you actually have to pay a sailor or somebody in the ship money to actually get back to where you were. But we're not going to do that right now. We're going to be moving forward. But just letting you know. And of course, this is where there's another all materia here. But we're going to equip the Force Stealer. There we go. Double materia growth. And there is an all materia right next to Yuffie in there. And of course, that's Eris. I guess we'll just go with I don't know. And we're going to move on up. And we're just going to talk to everybody in the ship. Basically, talk to everybody all around because that's what triggers the game to actually allow you to continue it. And we're just going to take it. We're going to take the invisible alpha and restore HBMP. I think I have to talk to Tifa, I believe. And we're just going to talk to her for a little bit. And now we are gonna go see about going downstairs. I think I have to go downstairs because that'll trigger the game and that'll allow us to progress into this next part. Yeah, let's move. Um, Here we go. And I have to talk to this guy. There we go. And this guy right here. Alright. So I think we should be good to go. There we are. And Barrett is just listening into the conversation between Rufus and Heidegger, and he's just upset because, he just lost his crew to them, and he can't do anything about it. So he kind of has this vengeance vendetta going on, but, he can't really do anything about it. He wanted to, but he couldn't. So basically, we're about to see if we can find Sephiroth at the bottom of the ship because there's some commotion going on, and apparently he's killed off a bunch of soldiers in the ship. So we're about to find out what's going on. And we're just gonna get the materia ready here. And yeah, just making sure everything is all here correctly. Gonna play Shiva on the behalf of this particular boss battle, and we should be good to go. I'm just making sure these numbers are correct, using the Force Stealer to the best of my ability here. And we're just gonna equip all that, and we're ready to go. And of course, all the soldiers have been basically killed, but collect the all materia here. So I'm just equipping that to Tifa, but please make sure you collect the all materia in this next part. I can't enforce it enough, but collect it and just be on your merry little next part. And of course, Sephiroth is here apparently after a long time, and he arrives. He doesn't remember us, and that's an issue. But apparently the time is now, so here we go. And of course, we're dealing with Jenovah's Birth, which is basically the boss here, and we're just gonna shoot it with Shiva and a bunch of other different moves here. We're gonna use Flamethrower primarily to take it out. It does have a deficiency against fire for some reason. Yeah, but this is the part that takes a little while because and gotta be careful with this particular boss because it does know the move stop. And if it gets you, it will stop your moves dead on your tracks for quite a duration of time. So keep healing and keep doing what you do. I'm just using cross slash, and this is the stop move that I was warning you about. It's pretty darn dangerous to nearly get stopped by the Jenovah Birth boss because it missed, but I got lucky. Flamethrower again, ice magic, big shot, and flamethrower. There we go. And of course, unfortunately, I keep losing my characters to Jenovah. I mean, she just technically killed off Barrett. I gotta heal them again. Eh, shoot. Phoenix down. There we go. Oh no, stop magic again. Oh, gotta avoid that like the plague, but apparently we're dealing with some situations here where the character could literally easily take us out with stop magic, but we're getting lucky here. Flamethrower again, and just make sure you keep attacking, otherwise you won't get to the end of the battle. There we go, heal up. Tail laser, and that's gonna be an issue. Yeah, big shot. Hit it with all we got. There we go. There we are. Limit breaks, cross slash, and Barrett's down. Man, no. Barrett. Well, it's okay. We won the battle. That's what matters. And of course, he doesn't have the Force Stealer, so it doesn't matter. The experience for for it doesn't matter for Barrett at the moment, but it's okay. We'll find a way to get the numbers up either way. So it turns out that the Sephiroth that we were fighting was just Jenovah, and basically we're just discussing what's going on. And Barrett doesn't know what's going on, but we're not going to explain it at the moment because it just takes too long. So we're going to grab the Ilfrite materia that's right here, that red little dot right there. And we are going to collect the item that's up there, like so. And basically, this is pretty much this part. It's basically collecting items. Make sure you collect them, otherwise you will not make it past this next part. It comes in handy to collect all these items. especially in this game, because if you don't collect them, you won't progress very well in the game without them. So now we're arriving at the port, and basically we're talking about basically chasing down after Sephiroth again, and Cloud has some weird obsession with hunting down Sephiroth, so we'll just go with that. We're talking about the sailor suit, and keep your mind on Sephiroth, and remember this isn't a vacation, and of course Barrett just be like, "Oh, you just wasting time and whatever." And we got a few bits and pieces of dialogue here for the other characters that basically it adds to the flair of the game. And of course, Red 13 doesn't like being in the heat, and Eris asks for her complexion for a tan, and I'd just be like, well, a healthy tan, it's nice, I guess. Because I don't know. I guess she wants to get a tan, so whatever. So we're moving on out, and this is where the villains take place. They already knew that we were on the ship, and we were chasing after the main antagonist of the story, like always. They just knew because they paid attention, even though we were completely hidden from everybody. But apparently we were spotted because, I mean, they are the military. They would know. So apparently he's very upset with Heidegger because he doesn't take his job seriously. And this is another part that we have to collect the motor ball. Um, I mean motor drive, not motor ball. I'm sorry. The motor drive from this particular area. I'm just not perfect, but this is the motor drive that you need in order to double materia on Tifa. And we'll be equipping some things. I'm just reviving Barrett at the moment because he was taken out. And we're going to equip the motor drive. There we go. To double materia. And now we got doubling materia here for restore and all. And all we're missing is Barrett's double materia growth in terms of his equipment weapon. We gotta get that next. And that'll be the next thing we are gonna collect. But I'm just redistributing all the materia here perfectly to double the all materia. During the time that we actually go out to actually collect this weapon, it may take a little while. But that's how this works. So I think we've reorganized all materials in their appropriate locations, even though they're not consistent with the way they attack, but that's just how this works. And we are going to save the game because that was a lot to do in the span of, give or take, a span of time. So we're going to save the game, and I think that'll do it for today. Until next time, I will see you guys in the next video, and hopefully we'll get some more stuff done for Final Fantasy VII.